Hello friends, welcome to Digital Notepad. This is Neeraj. Please like and subscribe for more educational and informative video. We know that United States of America is economic superpower. Nevertheless, the two Asian giants, India and China, are the fastest growing economy of this world. Both the country are running at speedy pace to become number one country of world. Further, it is believed by many economists that either of two countries will be number one superpower replacing USA in a decade's time. There are areas where China stands ahead of India on the basis of available data. However, all know how China has deceived entire world on providing data on coronavirus cases. Hence, there is always suspicion on validity of China's data. But today, we will discuss on an area where India is clean winner. Let's begin with pharmaceutical industry. India is leader in this industry and China is not near in any sense. Indian firms were more competitive in newly developed medicine, in international market, quality certification and technical talents. It's found that Chinese industry falling behind Indian firm in global market. Indian pharmaceutical outsourcing sector perform overall better than Chinese firm, especially in terms of technologies and management skill. Known that strength of China pharmaceutical industry mainly include a strong industry-based pharmaceutical raw material, low labor cost, and well-established domestic infrastructure. The weakness, on other hand, include poor competitiveness in domestic pharmaceutical market compared with the multinational pharmaceutical firm, comparatively low level of research and development, and professional technique in advanced medicine production, and especially low added value in international market. Whereas in India is well known as patent maverick and China is a knave patent taker, especially in pharma invention. It's surprised to know that China top 10 pharmaceutical company consists total market share of 15 to 18%, while India has been about 35% since 1999. It's interesting to know that 55% of drugs produced in India are exported to other countries. India leads the way in terms of absolute volume of US FDA approved manufacturing plant with over 100 compared to only 28 in China. FDA has offices in India and no offices in China. Now we'll talk about second area, which is space program. China successfully launched its first satellite to space in 1970, whereas India launched its first satellite 5 years later in 1975. However, India made steady progress and also keeping country expenditure in mind. Compare Mars mission. Since China started its space program earlier than India, and in same manner it has launched its Mars mission way before India in 2011. However, same was unsuccessful Mars mission and it even didn't depart Earth orbit. It was boom. India is the first Asian country to reach Mars on March 2014, and most importantly, it's the first nation to do so in first attempt. Further, India Mars mission cost only 64 million, whereas similar launch cost around 2 billion for USA. China didn't provide their cost, and hence we assume that it would be nearer to what USA bear for such launches. When we talk about precision and success rate, India stands ahead of China. Please see below satellite launch success rate in last 6 years. India satellite launch failed only 1 year out of 6 years, whereas China failed 4 years out of 6 years. India's PSLV rocket set a record for successfully launching 104 satellites at once. Space program expenditure is around 11 billion, which is 7 times more than India expenditure on space program, that is 1.5 billion. Now let's discuss on head of global firms or global acceptability. Everyone must have heard of global business giants such as Google, Nokia, Microsoft, Mastercard, Adobe. Do you know who are the CEO of these companies? These global giants has Indian CEO. Noted that number of Indian CEO are more in population as compared to Chinese in global MNCs. I can only remember John Sen as CEO of BlackBerry Limited, who was Chinese national. We can say that Indians are more acceptable and welcome at senior role globally than Chinese national. Now we'll discuss on debt or loans. These are always considered as a problem for anyone. As per IMF, India's debt is best in all emerging economies. Both these countries are good in attracting foreign exchanges. However, China has lent so much that it is considered as debt bomb by economists. It has more than 317% of debt as compared to its economy, whereas India has only around 80%. China's development are backed by an ever-increasing debt burden. It continues to rise every year. China domestic debt is over 317% of GDP in first quarter of 2020, as against 300% in last year. China accounts for 60%, or that is 72 trillion of emerging market debt, whereas India domestic GDP is stood below 100%, that is around 70 to 80% of GDP. As per World Factbook, China is at 15th position on total external debt, whereas India is at better position on same by being at 24th position on total debt. China per person debt is USD 1450 against India 1250. Now if you talk about total debt, there is also China has 25% more debt than India. Its total debt is around 2 trillion, whereas India's total debt is around 1.4 trillion. Predicted by researcher that China national debt continue to mount and will be way ahead of India's by 24 as well. So we can clearly say that as far as debt is concerned, India is far better than China. Now let's talk about freedom of speech. India is a democratic country and its constitution gives every citizen right to freedom of speech. Citizens were free to condemn government policies and procedures. On contrary, China does not give freedom of expression to its citizens. They were not allowed to condemn government policies or procedure. World would not have suffered corona crisis if China has valued freedom of speech. We all have heard that Chinese government behavior with Mr. Li Wenliang, the whistleblower doctor who tries to warn nation on emergence of novel coronavirus. Chinese official punished him by stating that doctor is spreading rumors, which is now become a global pandemic. Just to give an example, their website People Daily, the official newspaper of China Communist Party, reported that court of Hubei sentenced two men to jail for 9 and 7 years, and their crime was only publishing love poem without government authorization. So see how they respect freedom of speech. Though the 1982 constitution guarantees freedom of speech to Chinese national, however, Chinese government often use the subversion of state power and protection of state secret clause in their law system to imprison those who criticize government. There is no freedom of expression for ordinary citizen. Now let's talk about human right. When we talk about human right violation, we all know how China is treating Hong Kong and on the religious right of the Uyghur community predominantly living in Xinjiang province. We talk about Hong Kong, China has bring his army on road of Hong Kong as it's a war with civilian. This is a clear example of human right violation and irony is still going on. Just to bring to notice that Uyghur community does not hold basic right which all Muslim of world hold, such as Uyghur under 18-year-old are not allowed to enter to mosque or pray in school. The use of traditionally Islamic name are banned. On the other hand, India respects human right. If all individuals has a human right, even criminals got a right to treated as a human being. Let's move to another area, which is stock market. Indian stock market is older than China and is more inclusive, market oriented and internationalized. The internationalization level of a country's stock market can be observed in two dimensions. One is market access requirement for international capital and IPO requirement for foreign companies. There are two foreign companies have listed in Indian stock market, whereas China it has none. Indian stock exchange enjoy more important status in its national economy than China. The reason is Indian securitization ratio is 76% in 2018 while China is only have 46%. This we come to end of our video. Hope this bring to your notice on an area where India stand as a clear winner. If you have any comment or suggestion, please do let us know. We are coming soon with new educational video. Don't forget to subscribe.